Hello, everyone. George here, Catholic Positive Energy. Nice to see you here. Uh, Real quick, I would like to apologize for not showing up here the last two nights. I've been so busy writing a paper for grad school, it's just taken up all of my time. And yeah, I was going to come on last night, but yesterday I had a very stressful day at work, and by the time I got home, I was very tired, and I wasn't in the most positive mood. So yeah, last night was not a good time for me to come on. But I'm here now, and yeah, I just suddenly remembered because, like I say, sometimes I stay up until 4 in the morning just to stay updated on my reading because I'm so busy with my life. I don't do this to myself on purpose, but because I'm in grad school and I love what I'm pursuing and I'm really passionate about it, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to stay on top of everything. So, anyways, what I want to explore with everyone this week is how do you react to being treated unfairly? Now, this is something I want to explore, a negative feeling that most of us normally experience and feel in life that's not fun to go through. Now, I'll tell you first, this is how I react to being treated unfairly, and I will admit it. I don't like to really talk about my faults here, but I guess I will since obviously I brought it up. If I'm being treated unfairly, I get very angry. Oh yes, I'll start shouting at the person and I'll be very angry and I'll blow up at them. Now obviously, I don't like being treated unfairly. I don't enjoy it at all. I don't appreciate it at all. And I have been treated unfairly quite a bit throughout my life. And I never enjoy it. I never appreciate it. I really blow up and get very angry if I'm being treated unfairly. And now that's just me. Now obviously, some of you may not be watching me live right at this moment that I'm talking, but I want to hear from all of you who are watching this, later on after I sign off. How do you react to being treated unfairly? Do you get angry? Do you start shouting? Maybe you start using some colorful words? Do you lose friends? Do people distance themselves from you and discontinue talking to you? Or do you discontinue talking to them? Do you ever have the thought of reconciling with that person or these people who treated you unfairly? I'll be honest with you. I think it's been a while since somebody treated me unfairly. Obviously, being treated rudely and being treated unfairly, they can be the same thing, but they're not exactly the same thing. I mean, if somebody's rude to you, that doesn't mean they're treating you unfairly. It is possible to have both of those things happen at once. Like, I want to think of one that I'd like to share. Oh, okay. I got one. This was from when I was, much younger. Now, my mother is from the Philippines, and I'm born and raised here in Southern California. Now, I think I've mentioned this in several broadcasts ago, several months ago. Now I'm an only child. Whenever I would go to visit my relatives, like on the weekends or family get-togethers, my mother's side of the family. Whenever I would go to like my relative's house, and I was always there, and I was a little kid, and I would walk in the house expecting to be treated lovingly, respectfully, politely. That was not always the case. I mean, I got some hugs from some family members who did love me and still do today, but some of my mom's family members would constantly grill me and ask me, and this is the only thing that they would ever say to me, is, when are you going to learn Tagalog? That's the Filipino language. Now, I want to say, I know we have a lot of fans from the Philippines. I want you to know that I mean no disrespect, okay? I respect the Filipino culture. I am, after all, half Filipino. I respect your culture, and I mean no disrespect at all. Now, my dad is American. I grew up in Southern California. I've never been outside this country, and being born and raised in Southern California, growing up in this culture, I remember whenever I was in elementary school, the only time I ever heard the Philippines mentioned was if we were talking about geography. Now, as far as culture, I never learned that in my life. I learned certain things being around my mom and her family, but they would always, like laugh at me and make fun of me because I didn't understand what they were saying. They would purposely talk to my mom in front of me in Tagalog, and I couldn't understand what they were saying. I wanted to be a part of the conversation, but they would try to guilt me and give me a hard time and laugh at me and make fun of me because I couldn't understand what they were saying. They were saying, well, if you want to understand what we're saying, then you should learn our language. And they would often laugh at me, make fun of me, and ridicule me. And I never wanted to learn because they did that. And whenever I hear like the word Tagalog, or I hear things along that nature that reminds me of those things, it doesn't make me want to learn. I feel that my relatives drove me away by constantly hammering me, pestering me, and trying to guilt me into learn. Like I say, look, I respect Filipinos, I respect the culture, but because I had family members who would often laugh at me, make fun of me, and nag me for years and years, for 12 years, forcing me to learn Tagalog when I didn't want to, it drove me away. And now I don't talk to those family members anymore. It's not, I didn't cut them out. They actually cut me out of their lives. I've tried several times to reconcile with them, but they want nothing to do with me because I'm so Americanized, they don't like that. They were hoping that I would still embrace their culture and learn their language, even though I'd been here my whole entire life and I've never been to the Philippines and I've never even been to any other country. I would like to visit other countries and travel the world, see the world. But like I say, because they used the method they did, it always hurt me, and I felt like it was very unfair. And whenever I was ever around them, if I ever did something that they didn't like, they would all be against me. They would never admit when they were wrong, even if one of them humiliated me at a family get-together, and that did happen to me quite a bit. Over time, my anger and negative energy just built up. And obviously it's, if I'm ever around those family members, and I'm probably never going to see them again. I saw one of them about 5 years ago, but whenever I'm around, when I was around that family member that I just mentioned, I wasn't happy to see them, and I would, give them a dirty look and let them know that I wasn't happy to see them, just through my body language. And she wasn't happy to see me, so I didn't react well to any of that. I felt like it was very disrespectful and unfair, and I never reacted well to that. But like I say, just want to make things clear. And like I say, I mean, no disrespect, so I hope nobody takes anything I said the wrong way. I was just talking about something that I went through, and I'm just sharing the story with you. I mean, no disrespect to anyone or anything I mentioned. If you want to teach somebody something, if you want someone, a younger person in your family, niece, nephew, child, grandchild, or a cousin, to learn something, if you want to win them over, you don't win them over by nagging them. You don't win them over by ridiculing them, making fun of them, humiliating them, disrespecting them. You don't win them over. And if that's the method you use, you will drive them away. I've noticed this, and I'd like to ask some of you this. If somebody's nagging you a lot and they say the same thing to you over and over and over again, basically when they talk to you, it feels like this. It feels like that. Nobody likes being hammered. Nobody likes being nagged, and I've been nagged an awful lot throughout my life. See, I didn't react well to that. It just eventually made me snap, and I had a lot of resentment towards these family members because to be honest with you, they never loved me. They only wanted me to be a part of their life if I did the things that they wanted, like embrace their culture, learn their language, and they did it by nagging me for years. They did this to me for 12 years. And I told them I didn't feel like learning it, I was hoping they would still love me anyway, regardless, and they did not. And I didn't react well to any of that. I feel like that was very unfair, unjust treatment. Forcing me, nagging me, ridiculing me, humiliating me, disrespecting me. I did not react well to that. So, I just want to ask all of you, because this is something I'm sure everybody here has been through. I'm sure many of you might have a story similar to that. You know, family member treated you unfairly or badly, and it still stays with you to this day, somewhere deep in the back of your thoughts. And I just want to know, how do you react to that? You know, to those of you, I mean, feel free to share your stories with me in the comment thread, or if you want to share them with me privately, that's totally fine too. But how do you react to being treated unfairly? Do you get angry? Do you think about it for the rest of your life? I mean, do you take it with you? Do you ever let it go? Do you ever forgive these people? Is it hard to forgive those people? Is it easy to forgive those people? I just want to say one final comment about my story I shared. Now, if my family members would have tried a different method to try to get me to learn their language and embrace their culture, like let's say if they were much nicer to me, or if they were to say to me, you know, it would really mean a lot to me if you embraced our culture and learned our language and learned our ways. I know you grew up in this country, George. I know you're going to school here, and I know you're growing up in a completely different culture than we did. But if you embrace our culture, it would really mean a lot to us. And I would have loved it if they would have said this, but we'll still love you anyway, even if you don't. Now, if they would have done those things and said those things to me, I would have done what they wanted me to do. But because they bullied me and nagged me so many times, I never did what they wanted. And like I say, I do have a lot of family members who have treated me that way throughout my life. They feel that, you know, I'm the adult, you're the kid, you do what I tell you, and that's not how I work, okay? I mean, I have a nephew, I haven't seen him in a while, and I always hated it when my uncles and aunts treated me that way. So whenever I saw my nephew, I never did that to him. And even whenever I saw my nephew, I never told him what to do. I never gave him orders. I never once talked to him like this or told him what to do or gave him orders, because I never liked it when I was a kid, so I didn't do that to him. And he loves me so much because I always made him feel loved. So I just want to hear, how do the rest of you react to being treated unfairly? I mean, you don't have, it doesn't have to be a story about family. Whatever story you've had, whatever things you've been through, whatever your thoughts may be, how do you react to being treated unfairly? What's your solutions? Or even if you have maybe any comments for me, I don't mind if we discuss this for weeks. I feel this is something that will really get people talking. But how do you react to being treated unfairly? You know, do you get angry? Do you cut people out? Do people cut you out? Do you hate each other forever? Do you ever talk? Those are things I just want to throw out there. But once again, and I feel like I have to say this again because I do have a lot of, we do have a lot of people here who live in the Philippines. I want to make one thing clear. I mean no disrespect to Filipinos at all. I love Filipinos. It's just, you know, my family members have alienated me in a sense, but like I say, I love everybody and I welcome all cultures here to Catholic Positive Energy. We've got a huge following in other countries outside of the U.S., and I'm very happy and I'm very glad. But I also want to make clear, this community that I've started, I want everybody to know, if you ever have things you want to talk to me about things that I've said, this is an open discussion. You feel free to make comments on the videos or to message me in private if you have a very detailed, long thing to say, and I'll engage you in discussion. I'll answer your questions. I'll respond to your comments politely, nicely. Hopefully, you'll do that with me. but you guys are welcome to talk to me about any of the things I say here. And like I say, here in Catholic Positive Energy, I never talk about anything negative. You know, I do pray the rosary with you guys, but I never pray the sorrowful mysteries because I feel that that is a very negative thing. And as much as possible, I don't want there to be any negative things here in this community. I also never mention the crowning with thorns, or I never mention politics here. That is not something that really makes a lot of people happy all the time. So, like I say, anything positive here, anything about life, I'm all ears. I'm open to listening. I'm open to discussing, and you know, that's why I'm here. I'm not going to say, no, you can't talk to me about this because this is something I don't like or something I'm not really wild about. I mean, like I say, if someone messages me about politics, I'm not going to discuss that because, like I say, this is a positive community. It's not a political community. Hopefully you have other people you know who will talk to you for hours about those things. But like I say, with regards to the things that I say here, all of you are welcome to ask me questions or make comments about the things I've said. And I always want to say, and I'm very careful about how I say things, because I've noticed now in our day and age, if somebody says something and it's taken the wrong way, or somebody misinterprets it, or they take it as something disrespectful, then they try to label that person as a disrespectful person, and I don't want anybody doing that to me. That's why I'm very careful about what I say, how I say it, and even if I have to say it, like I know I've said it several times now, I mean no disrespect. All right? So I do respect all cultures, and I obviously, as a Catholic, I follow the teachings of the Catholic Church, and I certainly agree with them. And there are certain things that I see going on in the secular world that I don't like and wish were not happening, but I'm not going to name them because, like I say, I have to be careful about what I say, and I don't want anybody having a bad image of me. So I feel like I'm going on and on, but this is what I wanted to, I wanted to basically just ask you guys questions about how you feel about being treated unfairly. It's not really me preaching to you and talking to you this week. I really want to know your thoughts, what you think, and how you feel. And let me know. So I would like to ask you all to please pray for me. I've been working very hard in this class that I'm in right now, and I still have lots of work to do. But I came here. Once again, I'm sorry that I am broadcasting 2 days later than I normally do, but I'm here. And like I say, if there's ever a time when I cannot be here on a Tuesday, I guarantee you I'll be here sometime later in the week when I'm able to. I will be here. And I for those of you who have been following me ever since I started Catholic Positive Energy, you can even look in the videos that I've done for the last 2.5 years now. There has never been a time that I did not post a video here for a week. Every single week since I started my very first broadcast, I believe that was in April or maybe it was June of 2020. Every single week I have uploaded a new video. Even if I was on vacation, even if I was not feeling well, or even if I was very tired and very busy and I had to come on at like 2 a.m. my time, I've still been here. And I will always be here. The only thing I can think of is, and this won't happen for a while because I'm not married yet. Let's say if I was married and, my wife is expecting and, we're about to have a child, then, okay. I more than likely, that would be the only thing that would prevent me from broadcasting here for a week. That would be the only thing. But that's not going to happen tomorrow, so I'll still be here. So anyways, thank you very much. Thank you for always following me here on Catholic Positive Energy. I've had a lot of wonderful followers, and I always have some very nice comments. I see people who regularly like the things I post here. People like, and I'm going to mention the people who are always here, who are always active, so please forgive me if I don't mention your name. There are so many people here I can't possibly mention, 600 names. So, Karen Cornoyer, Cheryl Mostacho, Jean Loga. I'm very glad that you're all following me regularly and making comments on the things that I post here whenever I do have thoughts that I want to share. So thank you very much. I'll be here next week with a prayer and meditation broadcast. And once again, I want to say, dignification is better than criticism.